Hello, welcome to Always Sides podcast, where I, your host, Malia, and co-host Benjamin will be discussing Reddit stories. So let's get into it. Our first story will be...
Am I the asshole for not removing a photo my girlfriend told me before she moved in with me?
Go
I,
for it.
26 male, think this is completely ridiculous. But maybe I'm actually wrong, so here goes. I've been with my girlfriend, 26 female, for 5 years. But we've known each other since we were 15. I'm fortunate to have my own place, and we've discussed for a while her moving in with me, as she has been staying in the house more often. This wasn't a problem until she was about to move in. I have a few photos in the house of me with members of my family. This problem is with a specific photo of me with my brother and father. She told me to remove the photo before she moved in to accommodate her. I asked her why. She answered that it's weird, but to me, there's nothing weird about the photo. She's the one making it weird.
That is weird. That's your family.
It is
I
weird.
mean, I have photos of
He
my
describes
family.
the photo though, so hang on.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe the only thing weird about it is that all of them are when I was a child. So they're not current photos. They're probably photos from, 10 years ago, childhood, stuff like that. Yeah.
All right.
But none of them are inappropriate or have something you can take the wrong way. She had no other argument, and in the end, I refused, and she said she wouldn't move in, and I was okay with that.
As you should be.
This has been a topic of discussion for the past few days. Some of our friends, and even my father, said that I should remove the photo to make her feel welcome, but I just find that, again, ridiculous.
But how does that make her feel welcome? It's just a photo of your family. Like, she can put photos of her family up too.
She doesn't even explain like why it's weird. She's just saying like this. I don't like that photo. It's weird.
I wonder if there's some underlying cause, like she knew the brother.
Anyway, edit. I won't post the photo because I don't feel comfortable, but I will describe it as much as possible. The photo was taken when my brother was 6 and I 7. In the middle is my father with a grin from ear to ear, his eyes closed and his arms extended to the sides. To the left is my brother, buzz cut, standing straight with his arms at the side like a soldier and a serious face. To my father's right is me, long hair, standing like a boxer from 1910, with my chin up and a mean mug, all wearing a suit because it was taken at my uncle's wedding. Now, the photo was taken outside the place where the event took place. There's nothing exceptional related to the place. The only thing aside from us is the sun, the blue sky, and a bunch of trees. So, additional notes. She has met my family. She has always been respectful and friendly with them, and vice versa. There hasn't been incidents or problems with any of them. I have asked her, and she has denied it. Her problem is with the photo I described above. I have other photos with my father and brother individually. I do the same pose in various photos. I have one doing the same pose with my paternal grandfather, where we were both wearing boxing gloves. She has stayed in the house multiple days, okay, even weeks. She even has, clothes there, stuff there. She has things there, basically. She's never brought up this issue. And despite him being, he's all for compromising, but he needs a proper explanation as to why it's weird. Am I the asshole?
I don't think he's the asshole. I think he does deserve an explanation just because, it's his house. It's his house. Like, yeah, you could accommodate her, but accommodate her for, a picture frame.
Yeah.
Or, a end table. I don't know. Not a family photo. That's a little personal. A little personal there.
The bit that I find weird is that she finds it weird. Okay?
Well, no. Yeah.
She doesn't explain why she dislikes the photo. She just mentions that it's weird. Me saying, remove this photo, I think it's weird. You need a bit more of a background as to why it's weird. Like, she must feel uncomfortable about that photo.
There might be, maybe she
why
doesn't.
Is that?
Maybe, she doesn't have a dad, or I don't know, but that still, I'm trying to justify it.
Still, surely they've been dating for 5 years. Surely he would know that.
Yeah. No, that's that's just fucking weird.
Just because they would have explained why that was the case.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so our next story.
Our next story will be, am I the asshole for returning my stepdaughter's birthday gift because she didn't save a cupcake for my daughter? I'm female 33, engaged to my fiance, male 36. I have a 4-year-old daughter and he has a 16-year-old daughter. He comes from a conservative family, so we won't move in together till after marriage. So far, we're on good terms as a blended family, but I noticed that my stepdaughter acts kind of distant toward my daughter. Every time I try to talk to my fiance about it, he'd tell me to give the kids a chance to bond and they'll warm up to each other. My stepdaughter's 16th birthday took place on Sunday. Since she's into baking, she decided to bake cupcakes instead of having an actual birthday cake. My daughter and I went to my fiance's house to attend the party, and I brought my stepdaughter a gift, which was an iPhone. We sat down as she started serving everyone cupcakes. Then when it was my daughter's turn, she said bluntly, "Sorry, but I didn't save any for your daughter." I felt confused. I asked if she made enough cupcakes and whether there was guests that came uninvited. She said no and that she just didn't make one for my daughter. I asked why. She refused to say. I was so mad and felt hurt on my daughter's behalf. I got up and told my fiance that I wanted to leave. My fiance tried to stop me and offered his cupcake to my daughter, but I refused to take it. On my way out, I grabbed the gift I brought for my stepdaughter and she stood there and watched. I could hear her yell, "Dad, she took the iPhone," while I was walking out with my daughter. My fiance tried to get me to come back inside, but I refused. Later, he came over and we had an argument. He said that I overreacted and that I know how some teenagers can be moody and do random stuff without an explanation, so I shouldn't have taken it personally. I said she excluded my daughter and didn't save her a cupcake, but he said it was just a cupcake and reminded me that he offered his cupcake and that I should have accepted it and called it a day. He said taking the iPhone, which was supposed to be a gift, back was poor taste and it might hurt my relationship with his daughter. I refused to give it to him so he could give it to her since she was crying about it. He left and was mad at me. We haven't talked since then except via text. Edit. She's been wanting the iPhone for a while, and since her dad couldn't buy it, I decided it'd be a nice gift if I gave it to her. For those who are asking how a teenager could own an iPhone, I'm sorry if it's uncommon where you live, but where I live, iPhones are the most common phones. Also, I saw that she served her girlfriend a whole plate of cupcakes, so it's not like she baked a specific number. Am I the asshole?
How old's the daughter?
16.
16.
The stepdaughter, the little girl's 4, the one that did get the cupcake. I don't personally think that this lady is the asshole. Mainly because this girl's 16 and like, how long have they been together? I don't know how long they've been together. But there's no need to be a mean girl to a 4-year-old. It's not the 4-year-old's fault that they got married. It's not the kid's fault. It is, yes, it's just a cupcake. Like at the end of the day, just a cupcake.
That's
not
what
really,
I was just about to say.
it
It is just a cupcake.
It's not worth that hassle. But
you can go to the store, buy another one. You can make more.
Exactly. But it's more of the thought that it's the thought, not the
it's the thought.
It's not it. It's the thought that she didn't save one, and like she did it on purpose. You know, she like we weren't there, but she did it on purpose. If you can see like what's been happening, she's not happy with this marriage. She doesn't want to, she doesn't want to bond. And like, what 16-year-old wants to bond with a 4-year-old? But at the same time, grow up.
And who got the iPhone? The 16-year-old?
She was going to get it, but then the mother took it. Well, the stepmom took it. She was like,
and who didn't get the cupcake?
The 4-year-old.
Why?
Because the stepdaughter said no. She was like, I'm not making her a cupcake. I didn't make her a cupcake. It's just a cupcake.
I mean, she didn't make her a cupcake. She didn't make a specific number just because earlier in the text.
Yeah. She didn't make a specific number. So it's like there were cupcakes for her, but she didn't save her any. Like she did not make her a cupcake.
Sounds like there's some grudge.
It is a grudge. And it's most likely because of the marriage, but that's none of the 4-year-olds. I just don't think it's fair for the 4-year-old.
Taking it out on the children.
Yeah, it's not fair. I do think, though, the mother could have handled it a little bit better by not, taking the iPhone. That's a little harsh, especially because that's a really expensive gift. But like, if that kid is going to continue doing it for years and years, and the fact that the husband isn't standing up for her at all, like he should be like, damn, like my kid is spoiled brat and should, not do that. So I don't know. I don't think she's the asshole.
I don't think she's the asshole.
It's her thing at the end of the day. Like, it was her gift to give.
Then again, though, she's saying, am I the asshole for returning my stepdaughter's birthday gift because she didn't save a cupcake for my daughter? So she's basically returning this gift because her daughter didn't get a cupcake. I mean, it's kind of petty.
It is super petty to returning
Fair enough, it is an expensive gift, but, it is kind of petty at the end of the day just because her daughter didn't get a cupcake and she's not going to give the daughter the gift. But you got to
think about it bigger than that. You got to think about it bigger than that. It's not just about the cupcake. It's about the whole situation. The kid is being, like, very distant and, like, rude to the little 4-year-old. Who's going to be rude to a 4-year-old? You know what I mean? It's not just about the cupcake. That's like, it's like events led up to it, and no one is like standing up for this cute little
Yeah.
kid. You know what I mean?
I don't know who the asshole is though, because she's kind of the asshole because she returned the gift because her daughter didn't get a cupcake. I mean, at the end of the day, it is just a cupcake. I understand it is just the thought. It's the thought that counts, but it is just a cupcake at the end of the day.
I don't think she's the asshole though. I do think that was super petty, and like she could have handled that way better.
Yeah.
Although,
she could have
like,
handled it a lot better.
I don't believe what the guy said. The husband or fiance, he was like, you should have just taken the cupcake and called it a day. That is putting a band-aid on a problem. There's a problem there's a problem there in that family. The kids aren't mending. If they're not mending, why are you getting married still?
Yeah.
Why are you still trying to make this work?
Yeah, I don't know that
I don't think she's the asshole.
Because I do think she is the asshole, but at the same time, she's kind of standing up for her daughter, and
I think she's doing the right thing as a mother to stand up for her kid.
Yeah.
And it's her. I think it was super petty to return it, but it is her. It's her gift, right? Like it's her thing to give.
It's her present to give. Yeah.
And she felt hurt that this child is being spoiled when this lady, and the kid knew that she brought the iPhone. So it's like she's still being such a brat after the stepmom went out and got her the iPhone she wanted, even though the fiance couldn't even afford it. Like, she should have been like, oh, here's your cupcake. Like, she should have been super nice. That was like fucked up. Like, if I went to a birthday party, bought somebody an iPhone, and they didn't even give me a slice of cake or like said thank you, I'm not gonna be like, I don't think I would take it back, but I would also like never talk to that person again.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah, no, I understand where you're coming from. It is petty, but at the same time, I think she's the asshole, but not the asshole, if that makes sense. Probably doesn't make sense, but...
I don't think she's the asshole, but definitely super petty for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
But women are like that, so what are you gonna do? All right, so our next story will be...
Am I the asshole for getting a waitress fired for serving me diet soda instead of regular?
Absolutely
This is a rather short story, but still.
Let's hear it.
32, female, am diabetic and have been for 20 years. I know my body and its needs. Last week, I went shopping after work, groceries and then some. It was around 8 p.m. when I felt myself feel shivery and quickly checked my sugar, or to see it was very low. It was around 45 milligrams. I'm going to go with that. I entered a small family-owned restaurant and ordered a regular Coca-Cola with some food. Politely asking the waitress to bring me the drink immediately. Fair enough. Understandably so. However, that can come across as the wrong way. Soon as you enter,
it depends. Like, if you be like, hey, like, I'm diabetic, you know, like, can you bring me my drink right away? Like, it's an emergency. But I mean, if she was like being a Karen about it, like, sweetie, you're not gonna get what you want.
Yeah, imagine going into a restaurant. They'd be like, yeah, I want a Coca-Cola with a sandwich. Oh, can I have the drink immediately, please? I mean, they usually bring the drink out quite quick.
They usually take your drinks first before the food anyway.
Yeah. Anyway,
come on.
As I wasn't feeling well, she rolled her eyes and came back with a tall glass of Coke with ice and lemon in it. Very lovely. I drank it. And by the time the food got there, I was not feeling better. Coke is my go-to sugar lifter, and it always works super fast for me. After eating the sandwich and salad, I started to feel a little bit better, so I got up to ask for my receipt. As I couldn't spot my waitress, it was after 9, and I was supposed to get up at 4 a.m. the next day. So I was in a bit of a rush. I found out a minute later, talking to some co-worker about giving Fatty a Coke Zero she could afford to lose a few. I knew it was me, and I was livid. So I went to the shift leader and told him what happened, and that it wasn't okay, that I am diabetic, and what she did was not acceptable. That she should get educated on respecting patrons' wishes because you don't know what the reason behind their need for a certain order is. I hadn't expected her to get taken into the office and to immediately be let go of. I was mad, but now I feel really bad. I was fine after my sandwich, but it could have gone badly very easily. So Reddit, am I the asshole?
Nope. I don't think so.
No?
No, so I was a server for 3 years. First of all, you should never roll your eyes at a customer. Customer's always right, even if they're being, completely wrong. Always right. You can't go around living life rolling eyes at random people. You don't know what they've been through, But also, if they ask for Coke to ask for Coke. Not like,
Yeah.
and the fact that she said that to another coworker, she was like, "Fatty needs a Diet Coke,"
Yeah, you've
and
got
she
like a
heard
witness.
that's like
Yeah.
no, but that's like drawing some lines.
Yeah.
Like that's like it's one thing giving it to her and being like, "Oh, oops, it was a mistake," but going around telling another coworker,
Yeah.
that's like she didn't like she had every right to go and tell the boss.
Yeah.
Like
I agree.
the
Yeah.
guy, it was his decision whether she was gonna get fired or not. That's her own fault. And she probably was a shitty coworker anyway. You know what I mean? Like an employee. I don't see it. I don't see the asshole in it.
No?
What do you see?
Okay. I don't think she's the asshole. However, I should point out that we don't have Diet Coke, but Coke Zero here. And Coke Zero has a quite similar taste to regular. I mean, I disagree. You can tell
Actually,
I can tell
no.
the difference
To
between
Coke Zero, really? Because
Coke Zero, regular, and Diet Coke. I can tell the difference.
really, because so we started serving it up at the theater, and it was relatively the exact same taste. I don't like Coke, but everybody there tried it, and they're
Yeah.
like, "No, it tastes like the same." So like, if you're not in your right headspace, you could definitely tell like, "Oh, this is this is."
I feel like
regular Coke.
people can tell the difference between certain drinks. Yeah. Anyway, so I even Googled it to make sure. It's not the same, but it's not a punch in the face different as Diet and regular. I assume. I don't know. I never had Diet Coke. It's my mistake to have put Diet, and I kind of forgot that existed. I have fixed it now. Edit 2. When low, most people feel very off, and in my case, I can't tell my head apart from my ass. I couldn't tell that it wasn't regular. Get off your high horse and bite me. I mean, I don't think she's the asshole. I mean,
No,
if
see,
she's
like,
asking for
I didn't even read any of the comments, and I could already tell people were gonna be like, "Well, how couldn't you tell the difference? You should have been able to tell the
They're
difference."
actually not. They're quite siding with her.
they probably
People
got
saying
moved
not the
down to
asshole. They're kind of sympathizing with her because some people in the comments, they are diabetic too.
Yeah.
So they can understand her point of view.
You shouldn't be an asshole like that. Like, that's so
Yeah.
rude. I want to know how old this girl was. Like, God, that's
The only thing that I kind of thought was leaning towards an asshole was going straight into the restaurant and being like, I want this immediately, bring this over immediately. I mean, again, bear in mind that can come off the wrong way, and understandably so, you can explain your situation, but then again, you don't. If you had or have low blood pressure, you're not going to have time to explain that or communicate that. So
I'm going to be completely
I'm
honest,
going to
though.
ignore that completely. But overall, I don't think she is the asshole in any way, shape, or form. What she ordered is what she should get.
Yes, but you don't know how she went in there. You know what I mean?
That
Like,
is true.
You
That
don't
is
know
true.
that. Like, she could have gone in there and been like, "I need this right now," or she could have been like, "Hi, like, could I
Yeah.
get my drink right now?" Like,
Although she
I
didn't
need-
explain, that she was
well, yeah.
diabetic, blah 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 blah.
Well, you don't know that
But-
though. That's the point.
but still, yeah.
She probably didn't, because the lady said.
Then again, she did actually say politely asking the waitress to bring me the drink immediately.
Like the way
So
she's
fair
writing, she
enough,
seems
fair
polite.
enough.
So
Yeah,
I do feel like
yeah.
she wasn't in any way doing it out of rudeness. I think that waitress was just being lazy and didn't want to, go that extra mile to get it real quick, instead of taking 5 minutes to walk around, do a couple other things, and then do it, which I doubt she even does other couple other things. I just don't think she's the asshole.
Yeah.
Go on.
To be fair, Coke Zero and regular Coke taste incredibly similar. It's really hard to tell the difference. Now, I will say they are similar.
I'm gonna get 2, and I'm gonna put them in a box,
Duh.
and you're gonna try them.
Duh.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, so our last and final story.
Am I the asshole for telling him to get rid of the dog after the dog ate all of my food?
Yes.
Okay. We're both 26. Just for background, I have been telling him to rehome the dog for months. He brought the dog home 4 months ago. His mother gifted, quotations, gifted.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah,
gift.
the gift. See, I was saying I could do this for you with that chihuahua. Anyway, his mother gifted him the dog behind my back, and I knew for an absolute fact that we were not in the spot financially to care for this animal. Also, this is kind of a short story, but I feel like there's loads to talk about.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The title alone.
Yeah, I know. He refused, saying he was already attached to the dog and that she was too cute to rehome, and he felt that he couldn't rehome the dog due to the amount of money his mother spent on the dog for him. Are you ready for that amount? I'm going to cover it so you can't see it. Are you ready for the amount?
Yep.
$1,200.
That's how much they pay for the dog?
Yes, that's how much they paid for that dog.
That's an average price. I think that's an
Well,
average price.
if you're paying for like a puppy.
You have to remember, some dogs go for 3,000, 5,000
the
more.
dog I want is 3,000.
You're buying that on your own.
No, you said you were going to buy it for me. Anyway, this is the dog breed he has been wanting for as long as I've known him. Anyways, it started getting incredibly frustrating recently because the dog, who is 2 years old, has behavioral and medical issues, and we are now in debt. We are almost $200 overdue in our bank's account due to the unexpected trip to the emergency vet. I told him not to bring her and that she was fine. He brought her anyways. $650 later, and overdrafting our account. The vet told him the dog was just high. My husband's buddy was over and smoking in front of the dog, so she was stoned. She overdrafted our account, knowingly neither of us get paid until next week to make sure his dog was okay. We have no food in the house and now have no money for gas to get to work. My boss was lenient enough to let me work from home, but my husband has to be in the office. His boss knows that we are struggling and is super generous and actually brought both me and my husband food today. They came up to drop it off with me at noon. When I tell you I was drooling thinking about eating this food first time in 2 days. Wait, hold on. Let me read that again. When I tell you I was drooling thinking about eating for the first time in 2 days. First time in 2 days?
Damn.
Man, that's like, you go to a shelter for that.
Sounds
but,
bad.
You weren't feeling bad in the beginning? It would be an understatement.
But now I've heard the story.
Just note that the dog has plenty of food. I love that they added that in there. Just note, the dog has plenty of food. It's like our dogs. They eat our food. They don't care.
Yeah, but if it was me or a dog, I'll make sure, me or my cat, I'll make sure my cat eats before
Well,
me.
I always make sure the animals eat first. It's like, do I get McDonald's or do I get cat food? I get
You get cat food.
So they bring the food over and came inside and put it on the table. I go to hug my husband and his boss saying thank you, and that dog got up on the table, knocked the food down, and wolfed it down in 0.2 seconds flat. I immediately started crying and telling my husband to get that dog out of here, and I was done. Oddly enough, his boss is on my side. This is in quotes. Not only because of the money, but because he knows that I'm spiraling from the stress of this. My husband, on the other hand, is telling me I'm being overdramatic and not thinking clearly because I'm hungry, and says not only am I, quote unquote, incredibly selfish and inconsiderate, but he won't rehome her? Am I the asshole? No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So, I was leaning towards not the asshole, okay? Because
come on.
No.
Come on.
Because okay, you can actually take time to train the dog, and that dog has feelings. And
2
it cares
years
for you.
old, and you
it
still
is
don't have
2
it
years
trained?
old. However, the part that makes me consider her
they're
not
married.
being the asshole, the reason that being is because she's gone 2 days without food. Okay.
Yep.
And his or their boss, someone's boss. Okay. His boss.
Yep.
Someone's boss.
His boss
Brought food.
Yep, his boss.
Okay. They haven't eaten in 2 days. Bear in mind, it might be due to the lack of food, might be angry, might be hangry. Who knows?
But she's been asking for so long for him to get rid of this dog.
That is true. She was
Anger
asking
pents up,
prior to
especially
this.
with no
Prior
food.
to this.
Yep.
However, getting that food ready and then the dog eating that food, I'd be pretty pissed.
I have fully walked out of houses before because that has happened to me too many times. You don't even know. Too many times. I brought brand new cookies. I was so excited. I was like, oh, I got these cookies, put them on the island, went to the bathroom, came back, all of them were gone. Dog ate all of them. The box
I wouldn't
too.
say that warrants a rehome for the dog because she's been mentioning that rehome for some time.
No, I think that
and the situation that they're in.
No, okay, so hold on. I'm going to point this out really quick. They're married, joint accounts. The money, all in one account. Don't know why they only had
well, you don't know
that little amount of money. Like, they had $450 in their account is what I'm, looking up. Don't know why they had that much, but, I'm poor too, so I've got about that much. Moral of the story. The guy took the dog to the vet for no reason. That he looked funny. Okay, I get that, but also you need to use your brain. Your friend smoking in your house. Your dog's a little funny. Your dog's probably stoned. Okay, that's just kind of common sense. Anyway, she told him no. He should have listened to her. Okay, not because she was right, but because it's their money, not just his. He can't just go do shit on his own.
Yeah.
But secondly, he's ignoring the fact that she hasn't eaten in 2 days. So the dog Okay,
as
the guy.
I was saying, so she hasn't eaten in 2 days. Fair enough, given the situation, that situation can be slightly different. Everyone goes through certain situations, but 2 days without no food, surely she must have ate a little bit of food.
Okay, yeah,
Surely. But I understand that she's probably very excited and very excited about the food that she's
Because,
got ready to eat.
see, like, they're 26, Ben. Money, probably not their best thing that they're good at, okay? Clearly, the guy didn't even take a second thought to know that he doesn't even have that amount of money in his bank account to do that vet check, but he did it anyway, right? So it's like, we don't have any food in our house because we're, still going to the grocery store and buying, like, certain stuff, right? Hear me out. We're like, oh, let's get some McDonald's, $20, right? We don't have $20 because we're overdue $200 in the bank.
Yeah.
That's like, I think that's what she's going at as no food, is like no real meals. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say though, because I don't know.
Let's see. Someone said, rehome the dog and the hubby.
Oh.
You haven't eaten in 2 days and he doesn't care. That shows how low you are on his priority list, not the
I mean, I do
asshole.
think he needs to care. However, I understand the situation and what, with the situation with her saying, rehome the dog and stuff like that, as that's, you can say stuff when you're angry, stuff like that can happen. Although I do think she's the asshole for telling him to get rid of the dog after she ate the food. Bear in mind, she hasn't eaten for 2 days, but at the same time, she hasn't eaten for 2 days. That dog's eaten her food. I genuinely can't decide whether she's the asshole or not, but I'm genuinely leaning towards. I want to say not the asshole, because she's not the asshole. She has I understand where she's coming from. However, the asshole part is the fact that maybe not rehome the dog. Of course, he's 2 years old. That dog's built a relationship with you two, despite her probably not liking him. But still, maybe she is kind of the asshole for suggesting to
4
rehome
months.
the dog.
They had the dog for 4 months. And they bonded 4 months. 4 whole months.
A lot can happen in 4 months. That dog can get emotionally attached. So I don't think you can suggest rehoming. I really don't.
The mother could take it back. The mother can take the dog back. He can visit the dog every day.
True.
The mother can take the dog back. They are not financially stable enough
So
for
do
this
you
dog.
think she's the asshole or not the asshole? You don't think she's not the asshole?
I think he's the asshole. I think that he should prioritize his wife over a dog. Yes, like, I love my dog so much, but and I've had to do this before, if I have dogs and I financially cannot do it, I'm going to give them a better home where they are like thriving.
Maybe he needs to take a step back, look at his financial situation, the dog.
Their financial, it's both of them. He's dragging them both down in debt. Wait, why don't they have a credit card is what I want to know. Why don't they have a credit card? But whatever. You don't know
if they do or don't.
They don't. Like, they would have mentioned you can go get gas with a credit card.
Yeah, but they may not have mentioned it. Not many people will be like, oh, I've got a credit card.
Okay, but like, she said they don't have money for gas and they don't have money for food. They're only speaking about a debit. They're overdue $200 in.
But if you have a credit card and you've got no money in a debit, you've technically got no money for gas. You've got no money for food. You're borrowing, so technically
she couldn't even go to
money.
work. She stayed home from work.
No, she works from home.
No, she doesn't.
She works from home.
No, she doesn't.
He works in the office.
No. I'm going to go back because I need you to see this. Okay.
We have no food in the house and no money to go get gas. Oh, yep, no money to go get gas to go to work. Okay, fair enough.
My boss was lenient enough to let me work from home, but my husband has to be in the office.
Yeah.
He has to be in the office. She can work from home for that day because she ain't got no gas.
Okay, fair enough. Maybe I will lean. Maybe I will lean towards him being the asshole.
You do this too often. You're like, nah, they're the asshole, and then I give you some facts, and you're like, okay, they're not the asshole.
Yeah, I understand both. I understand both scenarios, but
no, I do too. But I'm leaning more towards.
But the husband needs to take a good look at his situation, their situation, and take a step back and actually, open your eyes.
I have sympathy for the dog. Like, yeah, like every dog takes food, and that's like, okay, cool. But it's not about the dog right now. It's not about the food. It's not about the dog. It's about this husband, man. He should have been thinking about her way more. He just drowned them in a bit of debt. Obviously, it's not like it's only for a week, but still, you shouldn't go do that without talking to your partner. I mean, like, he did talk to his partner, but he immediately just dissed her down because he didn't care. I don't know. I think that he's the asshole, not the asshole, I guess.
Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Check out our social media at Always Sides on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and much more. Other formats are available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and many more. Until next time, I'll see you next week.